Hey, what's up you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring another video. This time we're going to be talking about my thoughts on the second season of Killjoys on Syfy.
Hey, what's up you guys? Bloody Jacob here, meeting my icon, Catherine Isabel.
Hey, I'm Sylvia Saska.
And I'm Jen Saska.
And we're the Saska Sisters. Get in! Get a part of this! Subscribe to the little butt down there! Look.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've talked about Killjoys. I did give my thoughts on season 1 quite a while ago. I think it was in one of my earliest QMR videos actually, where I review usually movies, but kind of things I'm watching in like one big cluster, so I try to get them all in one go. But yeah, you know, I did not mind season 1. There's a lot of things I did like about it. Particularly Hannah John came as Dutch, and I've been periodically watching the show ever since. I mean, I know it just concluded its final season a few months ago or something like that, and I'm finally getting back to it. But I do still feel bad I missed the boat on. This would have been a show I would have liked reviewing week to week, but I just got into it a bit too late. And you guys know I tend to watch too many things at once, you know, before I figure out where my interest is really lying at the time. That's kind of what happened with this, but I am nonetheless pretty committed to Killjoys now. I mean, this is probably the main show I'm going to be watching at this point for a while, so that bodes well for it. And I'm definitely going to be reviewing it as I go. Obviously, I'm already a couple episodes into season 3 so far. And season 2 I thought was an improvement over season 1. Now that season 1 wasn't fun, I just think obviously narratively they obviously stepped it up, and you know, it definitely felt like a tighter, you know, kind of more pieced together story is being built up, which I think is natural for any progression of a show. So it's not really so much a knock on season 1 as it is a credit to you know, how the show's just going along. And now I'm not going to be able to go through every part of the season, but what I do like about Killjoys is that it is only 10 episodes a season. A lot of shows tend to be at least, you know, 13, like most shows on Syfy, even if they're not really that highly rated, they tend to be 13 episodes, but Killjoys is 10. And I think that's actually good for pacing. I think that's a good number there. And Killjoys, they do a really nice job at you know, mixing that fun initial vibe from the basic premise of the show with, again, this more kind of bigger, overarching, more complex story they've you know, started piecing together a little bit more here. I mean, it starts off with you know, Davin being rescued after he was experimented on with the whole sick situation, and of course, you know, his body is rejecting it, so they're, you know, fascinated by that. Yeah, it was on Arc and run by the Black Root. I'm reading off of Syfy a little bit here just to make sure I, you know, hit all the bullet points anyway. Yeah, they turn people into level 6s. And then, yeah, Klein figures out Davin is, you know, in some way indestructible and he needs to be set free so he can protect Dutch. So yeah, that wasn't too bad. You know, there wasn't as much concentration on what's going on with Davin as much as there was in season 1. But I think it all kind of worked well again to the bigger picture side of the show. And I guess I really did enjoy Klein this season as well, played by Rob Stewart, who's been in a number of you know, genre shows. I remember him particularly in Nikita. He was in season 1 of that slasher horror series with Katie McGraw. He was in Painkiller Jane with Kristanna Loken, one of their kind of guest roles over the years too. I think he's a capable actor. He always tends to be like in these mentor type roles, which is sort of what he is here, but sort of a villain as well. But I think he deserves bigger roles, and this is definitely the most prominent one I've seen him in so far. And I like the Klein dynamic quite a bit, which really hit a strong point at the end of the season, and really made it for me. He's a definite polarizing figure. They spend how much of season 1 just trying to evade him, and Dutch fearing coming into contact with him again through her own personal reasons and everything. But something maybe even grander going off the Dutch of the season was her visions of this Anila figure, and all the mystery that was surrounding that, and still is. But I think it's really cool to see. I'm sure I'm going to be even bigger on this once I watch more of season 3. I mean, I already am, but it's just kind of cool seeing Hannah John Kamen get to play really 2 different roles here. Looks very similar, but the makeup is a little bit different, especially around the eyes on both Dutch and Anila. You found Anila is basically psychotic, crazy as far as we know. But Dutch struggles with a lot of it. Maybe is she Anila? Is it just part of it? Is she just is the Dutch side of herself even real? Are her childhood memories real, or were they just implanted into her? So that part was really interesting as well. And there's just like a definite vibe you get in these Anila visions, and I enjoyed that aspect of the season a lot too. Let's see. Yep, and then he had okay, I'll click on this real quick. Yep, and then he had Davin getting pretty cozy with Sabine. I probably mispronounced her name. Sabine is level 6, who is sent to spy on Davin and is teamed by Klein and the Black Roots. They actually wrote hashtags spy bang burn. But of course, the green goo starts coming out and everything. Davin's sex has a healing effect on Sabine, making her a bit more human, a lot less raging 6 killing machine. Before her 6 sensibilities come back to her, Sabine gives the team intel on the other 6s that are hiding in plain sight in Old Town. Clues them in on the way to kill a 6th device called the Dreadnought, the Temple. But yeah, I brought up this picture especially because I think it was just one of the better scenes, especially of the first 3 quarters of the season, when Dutch kills her here. I really enjoyed that a lot. A little bit of a scuffle, but of course Dutch was able to best her. So a bit of a morally conflicting situation there, with regards to a 6 and whether she could have actually ever came out of there, and now she's going to revert to it. And then Johnny and Potter was another big part of the season. Actually, I liked Potter. I think she became like a decent supporting, maybe moving into main-ish character on the show. I thought the actress that played her did a pretty nice job. And what she's trying to do for Old Town, I thought was a good sort of a subplot for her. She's not like a Dutch level character necessarily, but it still made her feel important to the story. And like a definite thing going on in the background with how much the team spends in Old Town, the bar and everything, until she is unfortunately killed. Let's just get that there. Yep. Yeah, Delicia. Again, I probably mispronounce names all the time. She kills Potter anyway, and that's set to make it look like it wasn't her. So she tries to get Old Town, manipulated again, and things of that nature. I was a little surprised they actually killed off Potter. I mean, I won't be surprised if they bring her back somehow, or if at least actress makes like some sort of a guest appearance, and as like a vision of Johnny's or something. I don't know. So surprised because I felt like she's gonna be one of those characters that'd be integrated into the main cast or something, which she kind of was in season 2. But still, I think any show has to go for deaths like that once in a while. Not like major, but it was still a little surprise, I think. And then this is probably the best Johnny moment of the whole show so far for me, where he actually, shoots Saya in the alley there. But I have a feeling we're going to be seeing her again for some damn reason. Still a good moment there. I just liked his conviction with that, and Aaron Ashmore's delivery. And then definitely the best part of the season, again, that last quarter, after the first three that I referenced earlier, it definitely had to do with this tree, right? Again, I'm trying to just run through the recap on the Syfy website too, so I don't miss anything. Yep. Klein shows up and tells Dutch that other Dutch, or Anila, is his daughter, and her name is Anila. Klein can't explain why Anila and Dutch look alike, but he can't explain that Anila is a level 6, and Dutch will have to kill her with a dread dot he gifts her because Anila is up to some shit and must be stopped. Also, Klein... Yeah, sometimes Syfy doesn't make me feel too bad about the way I word things either. Again, there's serious aspects of the show, but it's, that's something else about Killjoys. Just overall, I really enjoy it, and part of it is for its combination of, it still has a sense of fun from its initial premise, but then I think the characters are actually beginning to get a good amount of depth to them, especially Dutch and the whole Klein and Anila thing. So that's a combination I really appreciate about this show. It's been a steady build-up, and I think it's working pretty well. Also, Klein tells Dutch that the source of the level 6 plasma is this giant tree, and the only way to kill the source is to kill a tree. And this is probably the best scene of the whole show for me so far, which we'll talk about in a minute, but I also like when Dutch and Klein sort of infiltrate it together. You actually get to see their teamwork and just how good they are together, and you get to see sort of Klein's admiration for just how damn badass Dutch is, right? Like we all know. Really nice fight scene. There's some smooth, solid choreography in the show, and I really appreciate that. I don't know if Hannah John Kamen is really trained in anything. I don't think so. I'm not sure how much of her own stunt she does. I'm sure she tends to do as much as she can anyway, but either way, she's believable with her physicality, and just how damn strong and skilled Dutch is. I really enjoyed that fight scene, and Klein doesn't jump in until like the last part of it, but then that leads to, again, probably the best scene, but probably the saddest scene of the whole show so far. Klein has to inject himself with poison, use the black blood that comes out of his veins to speed up the tree's decay. And Syfy writes, which means he dies, Dutch gets sad, period. But there's a lot of emotional layers to that, and really great follow-up scene between Johnny and Dutch there. Johnny saying she doesn't have to forgive him to miss him. And despite everything and all the fucked up shit that Klein sort of set her up through to supposedly prepare her, or some of his own flaws, we're still involved with, that's for sure. There's a definite still form of love there, I think, and I think it really illustrated and kind of tied up their dynamic nicely. Now, I would really nice acting between Hannah John Kamen and Rob Stewart there too, but Hannah John Kamen really knocked it out of the park. Dutch is my main best one in this show, so I'm glad they had that payoff with her already. Surprised they did this decline just so early on in the show, though. I don't know. I think he's going to reappear, so how important he is to Dutch's life. Whether he returns, I don't know. I worry that would negate his kind of sacrifice here, but he could always appear and have some sort of last touch before the last season, I'd imagine, but we'll see. Other way I liked it quite a bit than the last scene of Dutch getting ready to declare war on Anila and everything. I thought was really kind of good send off and closer for the season. So yeah, I know I missed a lot of stuff here, but overall I did like Killjoy season 2. Again, narratively an improvement on season 1, just as the story continues to grow. And season 3 looks to be taking another step in that direction too. It still maintains since the show's fun and some decent subplots, although I feel like there's maybe a little filler at times, maybe a little too much time spent on some side characters once in a while. Like the little Jellicoe thing I wasn't overly crazy about. But I also did like the episode, I think it was like episode 9, where Dutch is being held in Old Town. And you get another really great scene between her and Johnny. I like Davin too, but Dutch is by far my favorite in the show. Then it's probably Johnny, then Davin somewhere under there. But just where Dutch says, there's this darkness, like just anger in her, and Johnny's the only one that can sort of keep it down. Just that and the Klein sacrifice scene, Hannah John came and just, wow, really kind of solidifies my investment in the show going forward. It's still not like a, perfect show necessarily, but I think it's really, really solid, and it has like even more potential now. I'm giving it like an 85%. I did like it quite a bit, and I do plan on paying more attention. That's probably the show I'm going to be watching, solely for a while on all the movies I get to and stuff. So let me guys talk about season 2 without spoilers. How season 2 compared to the rest of the show for you. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. Sorry again for being slow getting to the show. Peace.